Okay, morning everybody. We're now moving on to chapter 11 in our textbook, Fractions, Decimals and Percentages. We know that we can go in between a fraction, a decimal and a percentage in all different directions. So, for example, 0.5 is the decimal, the fraction equivalent is 1/2, and the percentage equivalent to that is 50%. So in this chapter, it's all about going from decimals to fractions, or fractions to percentages, percentages to fractions, and so on. Today we're just going to look very briefly at decimals into fractions. It's all about knowing what column the number is in. So 0.4, that's our unit column. The 4 is in the tenths column. So it is 4/10. We put that into lowest terms, 2/5. 0.06, well, there's our tenths column. The 6 is in the 100ths column. So our fraction is 6/100ths. In lowest terms, 3/50ths. And finally this one, well, there's our tenths, hundredths, but our 9 is in the thousandths column, so it is simply 9/1000. And that is how we convert a decimal into a fraction. Now, one slight issue arises if we were to have two numbers after the decimal point. So what is 0.48 as a fraction? Well, we can look at it in several ways. The 4 represents the tenths column, so it is 4/10, and the 8 is in the hundredths column. So we have 4/10 and 8/100ths. Well, 4/10 is the same equivalent as 40/100ths, and you've already got 8/100ths, so we can simply say 40 plus 8 is 48/100ths. We can then put that into lowest terms. 48/100ths divided by 2 is 24/50ths. You want to write that out, but we can divide by 2 again to get 12/25. Now, that's quite a long-winded method, but I hope you understand where we get the 4/10 from, where we get the 8/100ths from. What we can do, what we can say, if we look at 0.48, you look at the last digit, it is in the hundredths column. So if we were to write 0.40, rather than saying 4/10, we can say that is 40/100ths straight away. 0.40/100ths. So in the same way, 0.48, we can straight away say that's hundredths, that's 4/10, but that's 40/100ths. So in total, we've got 48/100ths. Okay, lowest terms as here, 12/25. Okay, one last example of that then. Okay, if we had, what is 0.375 as a fraction? Well, we've got 3/10, 7/100, and 5/1000. So we need to convert them all into the smaller number, the 5/1000. We need to convert them all into thousandths. And we can simply say, well, that's 300,000, that's 70,000. You've got 300,000, you've got 70,000, and you've got 5,000. So in total, we have 375,000. Now that's your fraction, which we need to convert into lowest terms. Well, we can try and find a number that goes into both of them. I know that 5 goes into both of them. I know that 25 goes into both of them. And I actually know that 125 goes into both of them. But let's do 5. How many 5s in 375? Okay. Well, how many 5s in 37? Is 7 remainder 2. How many 5s is 75? How many 5s in 1000 is 200. So we now have 75 over 200. Into those terms again. Well, I'm going to divide by 25. How many 25s in 75 is 3? How many 25s in 200 is 8? So our answer is 3/8. The secret is, look at the final digit. That's the column or the fraction we're going to work with. So in this case, the thousands, we've got 375,000, and you put it into those terms. Have a go at exercise 11.1.